Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Charlie. Please consider subbing before you exit this video. Now in today's video, I am trying something new on my channel. It's something that I've been trying to do on my live streams, but I realize I lose focus and I can't focus on who I'm speaking to in the live stream at the same time. So I figured I'd try it in this form where I can just sit down and shoot the shit with different people on the platform, and sometimes I may, incorporate people who aren't on the platform. I just want to try something new on my channel, and I told myself for this year I will try my best to try different things even if it scares me. So I hope it's a video that you guys enjoy. I hope you guys see the joke within the title and understand the connection. So I'm very excited and very thrilled that Cherry Berry gave me the time of day to be able to sit here and talk and just see what comes of it, So let's get right into the video.
So I am Cherry. You can find me at my YouTube channel. It is Cherry Berry Weight Loss. It focuses on my journey of losing weight to hopefully become not obese any longer. And then also it focuses on reactions and I guess like opinions about living in an obese body compared to what we are seeing on the YouTube platform. I started my channel mostly, I think why a lot of weight loss channels start their channel is we start our channels because we want to see the progress we make. And for me, I want to have, I guess, in a sense, a video diary of like, this is where you were, these were your thoughts, this is what you look like, this is how long your journey took, and then here I am now. Obviously, I could have just had a diary or made the videos and then kept them to myself, but for me, I also know it's not going to be a short journey, so I think YouTube is a good platform to just kind of almost like have a Dropbox of your journey out there. And if other people relate to you or they want to go through that journey, I think that is a great place to upload those things. Now, where my channel is at now is I do a lot of opinions and reactions, and I sprinkle in a lot of my journey still with that. And some people I know don't really like the reactions mixed in with the weight loss journey, but what I discovered while doing my weight loss journey is weight loss is really boring. So I could upload every single day. This is what I do in a day, but I don't know, maybe some people's weight loss is different, but for me, it's always just going to be like grilled chicken breast, meal prepped like asparagus, green beans. Like, it's really boring to me. So doing that content every single day, I just don't feel is very exciting. I think a good weight loss channel probably would be someone, not saying this is how they have to be set up, but I think for someone who has as much weight to lose as me, it's probably best to set up maybe just once a week, every other week, once a month, kind of updates to weight loss, because it doesn't happen so fast. I know people really want to see this, like, every day you get on and there's this new spark and bang, and like you figured it all out, but weight loss is slow. So that's how I've kind of evolved it. Also, the reason I started doing reactions and more opinions on what we're seeing on the platform in the weight loss community is I felt like there was a lot of really bad information being put out there, and when I was reading comments, we were seeing a lot of things where everyone was saying like, oh, all of these people must be doing this, or they were making a lot of like assumptions that like because they're obese, they must be suffering from this. So I thought if I could give a different side of that opinion, it might, I guess, clarify some of those questions people have.
That's true. I do agree with everything you just said. I think what the problem is for many years, and that's why I'm kind of happy that it's changing a bit. I think when it's come to weight loss on YouTube or expectations of weight loss, or someone starting a channel, I think it's either the person already lost all the weight and they show the before and after, and that gives them the credibility and people want to listen to them. Or if someone's like our size and still on a journey, they're expecting like the Biggest Loser effect. Biggest Loser is one, and I was supposed to do commentary on them and I regret it, but I will do it next season. Biggest Loser is one of the biggest shows when it comes to weight loss, but it's one of the worst shows at the same time, because these people are losing drastic amount of weight every single week, but it's not realistic because they're taken out of their toxic environment, and for many years they weren't given the tools to deal with the mental health aspect and things like that. And they're in the gym for like 3+ hours a day. That's not realistic to the everyday person who has responsibilities, who has a career, who has a social life, who has a family to tend to. So I think a lot of times too, even myself, I used to make that mistake. I used to watch The Biggest Loser, and I'd pick one contestant. I'd always pick the female because I realized with men, they lose weight differently. So I didn't want to be discouraged. I'd pick the female that was closest to my weight while I was on my journey, and then every week I'd weigh in with them. And I do that privately. This was before my platform. And I'd get so discouraged because I'm like, why is she losing 10 plus pounds a week and I'm just losing 2, 3, maybe 4 pounds if I'm lucky? And it's because I didn't know the back end. I didn't realize they were working out twice a day, hours at a time, other things too, that different supplements that they were taking. And the thing with, I guess you can say, like, someone who's on YouTube at our size, the real raw truth is you don't lose it overnight. You have to really make some big restrictions in your diet and your lifestyle to have those type of results. Remember we talked about it, like, our journey is far from over. Like, at least you remember when we talked about it, like, it's far from over. And I think that's what sucks about it, because I've always had The Biggest Loser in my mind. Even as last year, I really wanted those results, and I've had weeks that I lost 5-6 pounds, and you get stuck with that number. So then when your weight goes from 5-6 pounds to 1 to 2 pounds, even sometimes half a pound, it's so discouraging. But that's real. Like, that's real life. So I think that's sometimes with me too, that what discourages me with my own journey is me seeing how long it's actually going to take realistically without doing something dangerous to my body. And it's something that I'm constantly reminding myself of and trying to accept. I have some weeks I accept it, and then I have other weeks that I don't. Like right now during quarantine, it's a day-to-day battle, sometimes hour to hour for me. I don't know if that's something you can like, how are you dealing with quarantine? What's some of the good that's been happening with you, and what's some of the bad, whether it's physical, mental health, whatever? Like, what's your currently right now, what's going on and what's been happening? Because we've been in it for what, 2 weeks now? About
at least a month now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been quite a while where I'm at. So the first couple weeks were definitely the hardest for me. I know a lot of people have a lot of reasons that they overeat. A lot of people have emotional reasons that they overeat. For me, it 100% is typically just boredom and having too much time on my hands leads me to graze, I guess. And so that part was really hard for me at first, and I did discuss this a little bit over on my channel. When I first went into my quarantine and I had all my quarantine snacks and I was ready to go, and I was definitely, it wasn't that I was necessarily overeating, binging, as a lot of people like to discuss. It was more just, I was snacking all day long. And what people don't understand is we can still be eating healthy and still be overeating. That's one of those misconceptions I was talking about is people like to say, well, if you're still fat, you're still eating like these girls and what we are judging these girls for eating. And I'm not saying I've never eaten like that. I definitely have, but I have actually shifted to eating better, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, I still don't go over. Like, it doesn't take much to go over your calories if you're eating something like pastas.
Yeah.
And so the difference is I had to, after about a week, I had to just say, you can't even have these in your house, even though, like, this is, people were kind of getting it in your house. You had to have a stockpile of food there for a while. So I was like, oh, I better have some pasta in my house just in case. I don't know. Like, that's just how it was in the news. And so then I realized groceries aren't going to run out. It might be hard to go get them, but I don't need to stockpile and have pastas and other processed food in my house just because we're in quarantine. So once I got rid of those, it's been a little bit better for me. Another great thing for me is it's not really an option for me to go out and get food, so I don't really have to fight my inner demons of, like, eating junk food at this time, because as long as I don't put it in my house, I know I'm not going to go out and eat it. So I'm not going to risk my health and what's going on outside for a thing.
Yeah. No, I like that. And with me personally, I would say where I've been struggling the most is losing the gym. I don't know if you feel like this, but my at-home workouts are not the same at home, because with the gym, like the person I think I heard say this and it really spoke to how I've been feeling is Fab Fit Geeky. She identifies her home with comfort, and I think that's how I've identified it. So now that I have to take the, go in different parts of my house to do a workout, it doesn't feel the same because the atmosphere is not the same. I don't have the same equipment. I'm still waiting on workout gear that I ordered from Amazon, like weights and different stuff like that. And because I guess there's a high demand, I'm not getting it until the end of May. Well, they said mid to end of May or whatever, and that's annoying. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but the gym was an outlet for me, like a big outlet for me. And I go to my complex gym, so it's right on the property, so it was really quick for me. It was really easy. And some of like the moments that I've had that are the toughest, I used to go to the gym sometimes twice a day. I didn't say it publicly because it can sound like you're promoting something unhealthy. I enjoy going to the gym. It's not because now it's taken away from me. I truly enjoy going to the gym. I love the workout. I love seeing my different workouts, progress, my form, my legs, things like that. And I think with the gym taken away from me, I just wasn't prepared for that, if I'm being honest. Like, no one sits there and thinks, oh, one day the gym will be taken away. That, at least I can't think of a scenario like that. So now that that's not an option, it takes away for me one of the ways I used to cope. Just like one of the ways I used to cope is going down to the Riverwalk. It's like a boardwalk kind of place downtown Tampa, and that's not allowed as well. Sometimes when things were too heavy on my mind, I just go for walks down there. That was taken away too. So it's like forcing me to find different ways to cope, but also doing it alone in a lot of ways. And I'm not completely alone because I still have the professionals in my life, but they're also at a distance. Like for me with my trainer, part of that accountability was physically showing up to meet up with her, do those workouts. That's a big part of it for me. So not having that anymore, it's been hard. And I heard someone say this, and I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but it's kind of like you're losing your identity a little bit, because I had my schedule. I had my routine and I loved my routine. And I think what it is I was probably too comfortable in my routine, even though my routine was good for my health. I think with this quarantine, it taught me I was so comfortable in it, and I'm trying to accept what life looks like right now, like our new normal. However, I'm still very bitter and annoyed and angry that there are certain outlets I don't have. And it's a first world problem, and I'm being bitter because I just feel like everything that is attached to my weight loss, my fitness, the things that I enjoy are like being ripped away. And I think part of it is because I know I eat a lot of calories. Like, I may not eat the way they do, but I do take in a lot of calories every single day. And I do that because it's realistic for me to keep doing later on. I eat a lot of grass-fed beef, avocados, sweet potatoes. I still eat jasmine rice. I still eat pasta. I eat a lot of calories. I just take it in a healthier way with healthier foods, fruits, vegetables, things like that. So with me not moving as much, not having the fitness to balance out the calories, because it's always going to be calories in, calories out, no matter the lifestyle. It's kind of like, oh, well, now I got to cut down these calories. Now I got to cut down the food. And it's been an adjustment because honestly, I'm still eating the same, but I don't have the fitness at the same time. So I think it's like weighing on me, and it's like a struggle. It's a struggle. I don't know if you feel the same, but it's been a struggle, and I don't talk about it on my platform because I'm worried that someone who's truly being impacted by all of this is going to be like, oh, you're just concerned because you can't go to the gym. You're just concerned because you got to lower your, you got to lower your calories. And I think that's my concern and why I don't speak on it. So I'd rather maybe speak on it in this sense where I'm having a conversation with someone else, bouncing different thoughts with someone else, so I don't sound completely ridiculous, even though I probably still do. But, I don't know if you can relate.
You still have your struggles also and understand that other people's struggles are greater than yours. So I think it's completely, if you ever want to get on your platform and talk about what the struggles you're going through, there's probably going to be some backlash, but at the same time, I don't think if that's something you really want to talk about, you should really worry about, because every single person in the world right now is allowed to have struggles, and we're allowed to express our struggles, even if we know that our struggles aren't as great as possibly our neighbors or the person next door to us. It's just anyone that comes at you with that, I think they're the ones that should probably be checking like what they're saying, because like we shouldn't be getting mad at people who are just struggling in a different way. Some people are struggling financially, some people are struggling emotionally, but they're fine financially. It doesn't necessarily mean that one's better or worse than the other one.
Yeah, and I think that's what I've been doing. I've been measuring the struggles, and I'm like, okay, so from what I'm seeing, everyone struggles, not everyone, but a lot of people's struggles are here. The struggle I'm talking about is here. So maybe you should just chill real quick, not talk about it, and just move on with life, you know? At least that's how I've been doing it in my head. But like, on a lighter note, when it comes to like your weight loss and anything like that, has there been anything that you haven't done because of your weight? And is there anything you're looking forward to doing? Like kind of like a bucket list or a to-do?
Oh, man. There's been things that when I'm doing them, I wish I wasn't the weight I was. So I think the biggest one is like when I travel, especially with like my boyfriend, we love going we're in the Northeast. We love going south. Like, we love going anywhere hot and warm because we don't get it all the time. So, and every time I go down, I think, like, how much easier this would be if I didn't have all this extra weight on me. So that's probably the biggest drive I have and the biggest reason I want to change it. Plus, just flying in general, it will be so much easier with the weight loss. So that's my number one reason. I guess that could be a shallow reason. Obviously, my number one reason is I want better health and I want to live longer.
Yeah.
Be able to just, like, if I choose to have a family, be able to be healthy for my family. But I guess if we're getting down to, like, the superficial reasons, it's because I want to be able to travel more. I want to be able to travel longer. And when I travel to those spots, I want to be able to do whatever the heck I want to do there without worrying, like, will my weight stop? For example, we went down to the Valley Fire, which is outside of Las Vegas, and it was like 115 degrees that day, and I made it like maybe 15 minutes outside before I felt like I was actually going to just like fall over and die, because, and guarantee you, part of that was because of my weight.
Yeah, I'm going to say though, 115 is very warm at any weight.
It is very, very hot, but it doesn't take away the fact that like when there's hundreds of people around and they're all doing like hikes in and out to see things. And I wasn't prepared for multiple reasons. I didn't think I was getting out of the car, period. So I didn't have the proper shoes or anything like that. But I mean, I have never been in a situation where like the second I step outside within 5 minutes, because I've always been mobile, no matter how overweight I've been. Lucky enough that I've been mobile.
Oh, you've always, okay.
So I've always been able to push through, and I thought this was going to be one of those situations that's going to be miserable because of your weight, but you're going to be able to push through, and I couldn't. So that was the one time it finally really sunk into me that, like, you can't push your way through every situation of the size you're at. Yeah.
And I've been there. I feel like a motivator for me too is traveling, because I used to travel a lot when I was younger. And in January, I went to my friend Manal's wedding. And the experience at that airport in January was such a difference from several months ago. Because, as you know, we talked about it, like I lost my mobility at one point, but there were times that, you know, I got it back and I was still able to do things. And when I had traveled back at home, even though I was mobile in the sense of, you know, I can walk further, it still wasn't enough for an airport. And I would stop at different terminals to like get my back okay, feeling better, to get up and go again. And when I traveled in January to go to Manal's wedding, I did not stop. Not, as a matter of fact, I was one of the people, like, you know those people who like rush through the airport to get to their terminal.
Yeah.
I was one of those people, and it felt good. Like, it felt good to like bend down, take off your shoes, because you know you have to do the security check, take off your shoes, put it back, you know, and then when you're putting it back on, bend down like a normal person. And it was funny because when I was stepping through the, it's not the metal detector, but you know the thing that scans your body?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so used to stepping sideways because of my size. And I went to step in sideways, and then something told me turn my body like a regular person. And I just turned my body, and I'm just like, let me just try. If I get embarrassed, I get embarrassed. I walked through it, walking forward. And it's been years since I've been able to walk forward into that machine. I always had to do the side, you know. And if someone saw me, they probably realized why. But it felt good that I could do that. And things like that was such a big motivator. Like, even though, yeah, my weight loss is slow, but moments like that, I try when I can remember. I try to hold on to it because I remember when that wasn't the case. I remember where I had to wait for someone to get off the bench so I can get the bench to be able to put my shoes back on. There were people on that bench, and I didn't care about the bench. I can put my shoes on by myself, not needing to sit down and getting back up without being in pain or worrying that I can't get back up or needing, you know, some type of assistance. And as far as like superficial, I was going to do it for my birthday because my birthday is May 15th. But obviously with everything going on, I'm going to push it back. But something superficial that I was looking forward to is actually I was going to do a nude photo shoot, a tasteful one. Because my, yeah, my friend, my trainer's boyfriend, my trainer's partner, is actually a big time photographer. He's like done shoots for like his photos has been in places like Vogue and stuff like that. How I ended up knowing him is just a blessing, obviously through my trainer. So he agreed to do it for me because he does a lot of, I forgot the name of the work he does, but he does a lot of risque photos. He's really broad, but he's well known for those type of photos. So I was supposed to do that, get my hair done and all that, just because I do feel like at times I'm missing out on the moments of today. I have this idea of wait until this weight to try this. Wait until this weight to try that. And I wanted to do that because it's something that I'm so fearful of. So I wanted to do that. And amongst other things, like I want to take different classes. I do want to do something involving heights. The only thing that I can think of where I don't think I will die immediately would be ziplining. I feel like bungee jumping and jumping out of an airplane will probably be too much for me. So
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so I'm
even at my goal weight, I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna zip line. Zip line is probably where I'll be. I feel like I don't feel like I'll die mid-air, like just through the anxiety alone if I do zip lining. Specifically, I want to zip line on the Vegas Strip. I saw, I don't know, it was some type of show. They have zip lining on the Strip.
Yeah.
But I wanted to also touch on our girls.
Okay.
What's the latest video that you've watched? The latest I've watched, and I'm not reacting to it, it's the one Amber's like, I don't know what I'm doing kind of video, which I don't know the purpose of that video.
I reacted to that one because I woke up yesterday morning and I jumped on Instagram and I was just already like, boom, boom, lit off because of how ridiculous her Instagram stories are. She needs to stay off Instagram in my, like, I'm always torn because there's part of me that's like, for yourself, stay off of platforms that show your true colors. So stay off Instagram, stay off live, you're digging yourself a hole. But then for the entertainment side of me, I'm like, yes, girl, keep doing these Instagrams. Go live like 24/7. So I'm always torn on that, but I got on there and I was already reading like the most ridiculous things. I think the one that really set me off I discussed in my most recent video, but she said something like she was no longer scared of being on camera and that pasta make her binge. Even though she's admitted pasta makes her binge before. So I was already kind of lit, and then she posted a video and I was like, you know what, it's Sunday. I don't have much else to do with my life today, so I'll be I just woke up and I was like, fine, if this is where you want to be today, then like I can be here with you for that. So
I'm still shocked, actually. I don't know why I still allow her to shock me.
I said that in my video too. I think there's because I don't know if it's me just personally. I'm a forever hopeful, and maybe it's because I do relate in the sense of like I know what it's like to constantly be on a diet through your life.
Yes.
And so when she lost 70 pounds, I don't want to take away from her that 70 pounds is a pretty good chunk of weight to lose. Is it as huge as someone else who's only 200 pounds losing 70 pounds? Absolutely not. But from how long I've been watching Amberlynn, that's the only time I've seen her actually be successful in the years I've been watching her. So I think what happens is, since I know the cycles and I've been there before, when she seems to be doing better, I'm still pulling for her because I do still want her to get better. I guess there's this part of me, even as a hater, I still want her to prove me wrong.
Same.
I want her to come out on top and be like, I worked on my mental health, I got a therapist, I figured out what I need to figure out on this side with my mental health, and I'm also doing this weight loss properly. And I would always be rooting for that, but she's back to square one. She showed in her video, you said you didn't watch it, but she's back to the same old. Like,
no, I watched it. I didn't react to it. Yeah, no, I watched. I kind of know, like, depending on how I'm feeling for the day, if I'm gonna react or not. It could have been the biggest shit show. I knew I wasn't reacting because I just didn't have the best day. So I was just like, you know what, girl, you don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing with my day, so you have that. But I was just so confused with the Q&A, the Ask Me Anythings that she's doing, and it's just kind of like, I think with Amber, and at one point with Chantal as well, Chantal is a different case altogether. However, with Amber, I always in my mind known I had my own cycles in real life, not on YouTube. I have my own cycles. I'll do something for a few weeks, fall off, or self-sabotage, all these things. And I feel because I've had probably countless amounts of cycles, it just takes that one time for you to finally build enough discipline to stop the cycles. So I just keep believing her when it seems as though it's not going to turn into another cycle. So with this time, with her losing the 70, even though I did question one specific weigh-in, outside of that, I was just like, oh, this is it. This is finally her moment to leave all this other stuff behind, and she's going to do it. And for me, I think the mistake that I made, and I realized this the other day, I think for a long time, a lot of people were like, oh, you're bitter now, you're worse now, you're more critical, or you're nastier. I think where I went wrong for so long, well, it's only been a few months, but still it feels like it's been forever, is I had the expectation of Amberlynn. I set an expectation for her that she didn't know I set for her. And the way I can explain it, like, our backgrounds are similar as far as, like, you know, foster care, gaining the 200 pounds, making a lot of mistakes. And I think because I started to want to live life, and while wanting to live life, I wanted to change my ways and be better, I set that expectation for her. Because in my mind, and I've said it in many reactions, once the weight starts coming off, she's going to realize life is worth living. She's going to change her ways. She's not going to want to gaslight. She's just going to want to live a more transparent life as herself. And she'll realize she's better than these, you know, cycles and these moments and this trolling. And that's really what I thought. I'm like, oh, once she starts really seeing she's going to lose weight, she's going to look at life different, and she's going to realize she doesn't need to troll. She doesn't need to do all these things. Yes, she's boring. Yes, she's a vile person. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take away the stuff she's done. But it took me personally losing weight continuously and fighting and seeing, you know what? There is going to be more to life. Let me start changing my ways. Let me really address the person that I was. And I've always said this, I was a nasty person. I walked around with a chip on my shoulder because of my past. I didn't have anyone fighting for me. I had to learn things on my own a lot of times. So I was a nasty person. I was a very angry person. But it took me wanting to, it took me seeing a purpose to life to change those ways. And I always felt like, okay, well, at 600 pounds, she probably doesn't see a purpose. So she's doing all these things to her audience. She's abusing her body. She's monetizing her addiction. When she starts losing this weight, this is it. She's going to see it. And that's what I saw. I saw her not trolling, losing this big chunk of weight. And I'm like, see, she's going to do it. She's going to prove her family wrong. She's going to prove her parents wrong. They didn't fight for her. Guess what? She fought for her own fucking self. Like, that's the story I always, in my mind, wrote for Amberlynn. Like, girl, you're going to fight for yourself and show your parents, okay, they didn't fight for you, but you fought for your fucking self. You're going to be able to tell your kids, this is my history, but your mom fought her ass off to get to where she's at. And I think that's where I messed up, because I started to line my story with Amberlynn's story and had unrealistic expectations for her, and realized, like, no, Amberlynn's happy being trash. Amberlynn will be that at 150 pounds. And I'm now realizing that. And I think for a long time, I always thought, yeah, you could be trash today, but recycled into something else tomorrow. You don't always have, I've done trash things, and I'm grateful that I'm turning a lot of things around. I see it now. I see it, and I get it. I don't want to say I don't have hope for her, because I will always have hope for people, no matter how disgusting you are, no matter your past. But I'm not as hopeful, and I'm not as fooled. And it will take Amberlynn going on the right path for months for me to ever believe her again. I will never take her at her word or what she uploads on video unless I see it for months to come, because what she's pulling right now, I'm not going to lie, I'm still shocked. And I get it. Like, people know who she is. Like, why are you shocked? She's done. It just, this time, I don't know what it is with this cycle, it just hit me different. I was just like, you lost 70 pounds and you're still doing this shit?
I think the hardest part for, like, oops, sorry, hold on just 1 second.
No problem.
I'm still here?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, sorry, something was, like, cutting in. So I think the hardest thing is we're all about the same age. Whether you look at it like 10, we're all within a 10-year difference, like from Chantal to Amberlynn, and you and I are directly in the middle of that. But I think the thing is like, we mature out of it, and the problem with Amberlynn is she's not maturing at all. So the way Amberlynn is looking at weight loss and life, I think, is how I looked at it when I was younger too. Like, you have your head in the clouds, and you're always thinking, when this magically gets better, when I make this big move, or if I journal enough about this, like, it's just going to magically happen one day. Like, she thinks she's going to magically just be able to go to Bora Bora one day because this weight's going to come off somehow. But the problem is I don't know when you hit it, but for me, probably my late 20s, I finally had to be like, I can't mess around anymore with this. Like, time's ticking. Every year I think next year's the year. Next year's the year. Like, I can just, I'm still young. I'm still young. And I don't see mentally her coming to that conclusion, because she's so stuck in whatever age she's comfortable in right now. And I see that in all of her habits. Like, I was the same way when I was in my probably like 21 to 25. I would spend all my money on clothes and jewelry, packing jewelry at that. Like, I have that in common with her. And, things like journaling and all this stuff. But now, when you get older and you mature out, you realize you can buy all this stuff, but the real things in life that matters are the experiences.
Yes.
And we need to lose the weight to have those experiences. And she, so far, is still showing she's fine, just sitting at her home in Kentucky dreaming about going to Bora Bora instead of actually experiencing that one day. And I'm not saying she doesn't want to experience one day. I just think she's still in that mental thing that, like, I have plenty of time. Eventually, I'll get there. But it's like, how? How are you going to get there? What steps are you going to take to get there, Amberlynn? And I think she wants everything fast. Like we discussed earlier, weight loss is slow and it is boring.
Yeah.
And even if you're doing it right, sometimes we fall off because of how boring it is. Like, we want to go out and we want to eat with our friends. We want to go out and do these exciting things. And she doesn't want to sit and be bored. So I totally understand where she thinks, well, I'll just start again tomorrow. Like, I'll just throw this out the door and start again tomorrow. The problem is she hasn't hit that age yet where she's realizing our tomorrows are becoming shorter because of what we're doing.
Yes.
So I think that's the problem, is her maturity is really making her think that she has so much more to live for than actually going out and experiencing those things.
And it's just kind of like, at some point, you can't be a victim anymore. You know, there are points in people's lives they are truly a victim. Me sitting here today at the age of 31, I'm not a victim. Anything going on in my life right now, which most things are within my control, it's a choice. You know what I mean? It's my choice if I get up every day and I choose to go left or go right. And there are some days I choose to go left and it's the wrong thing to do. And there's some days most days I go right, but I need to address those days and why I chose that and all these things. And I feel like Amberlynn's not ready and Chantal's definitely not ready to have those hard conversations. It sucks to realize you got yourself here. It sucks to realize, like, you know what, Cherry, just so you know, you can't blame this relationship. You can't blame this situation. You only have yourself to blame. It sucks to be able to sit there and say that. It sucks so much. When I really sat there, did you have that moment where you sat there and you had to say, you got here because of you, girl?
Yeah, I think everyone does. And I think that's part of it, but I also think, especially when it comes to Chantal, I think she's so consumed with just thinking she's not as bad as everyone else. Like, she's really consumed with this, well, I'm not Amberlynn's way, I'm not Jen's way, I'm not Amy's way, I'm not Humphrey Patrick's way. I'm still mobile, I can still drive. So I think with her, she wants to come out and instead of just realizing, like, I am still knocking on death's door, she wants to fight. She wants to say, well, like, for example, she wants to have kissing matches and come out and say she literally wants to measure bodies because that's what she cares about. Whereas I think at least Amberlynn knows to sit back and understand that, like, regardless if there's someone else out there worse than me or not, like, she somehow understands that, like, I don't have any room to talk in this. Like, there's many people out here living unhealthy, being fat, which is fine. If you want to clump us all together as just, obese women, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Chantal is just so focused on not being in last place that she won't actually work on even getting in the race at this point.
I've never heard someone word it like that, and you're, in my opinion, 100% right. I never looked at it like that, and because with Chantal, it's, it's a little different because some of it's a little personal. It's petty, it's personal.
Yeah, she makes it personal.
Yeah.
She doesn't sit here and say, like, well, as obese women, like, she is another person. There is an argument to be made if she wants to come at us and be like, well, you are obese too. There's a valid argument she can make towards us, but that's not where she goes. What she does is she comes out and she says, well, you're just as fat. You're just as unhealthy as me. And there are areas where we can admit where other people are doing better than us. Like, you were talking earlier, I guarantee if we did a scanoma test, like, you could go to a gym and you could whip my butt. Like, there's just, you're beyond that for me. And that's okay to say that there are people that are doing better than we're doing at where we're at in our weight loss. But she does not want to admit that, like, maybe Charlie goes down here and she's actually doing something that's healthier than what I'm doing. She just wants to say, well, you're still fat and you're just as fat as me, And that's not even the truth. So
not at all.
Completely wrong. But she's completely wrong and delusional in that. But she also, there is a valid argument to make, but she also can't just sit back and give people credit where credit is due, which we're willing to do.
Yeah.
Like, we're willing to say, listen, this person has figured something out that I have not figured out. Like, you going to the gym and working your butt off and, like, your scheduling is something that I'm still working on. I'm just not to the level that you're at in your journey for that. But she does not even, like, she won't even accept that, like, you have to start somewhere because all she does is she wants to focus on how I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Chantal is somehow better than us. And, okay, fine, but keep doing what you're doing and we'll see in the end, like, who does better in life.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, hold on real quick. And And the crazy thing is, if Chantal actually listened to me or heard, well, I'm sure she doesn't have time to watch my videos, and I wouldn't recommend it either because she doesn't take criticism well. But if Chantal actually knew my messages half the time, I've said it time and time again, like, be better than them and myself, because I've made those same mistakes. Even though I'm not making them today, the only thing better are my choices today. It doesn't make me a better person. Chantal's not better than me, and I'm not better than Chantal. I don't believe in the whole, you know, this person's better. I don't know. It's just me, and it could be because of maybe my past and some of the things that I experienced in life. I just don't like to believe that anyone's better than the other person. What bothers me, one of the things, is Chantal does believe she's better than other people. And it's just like, Chantal, you're not better than anyone, and no one's better than you. The only thing that's better is choices that people are making. That's it. You know, we bleed the same blood at the end of the day. At least that's how I look at it. And I think it's because Chantal's she has this very entitled personality, which could come from her upbringing. Sometimes I try to connect it, and I don't understand where the entitlement comes from, because it sounds as though she did have a rough upbringing, but she's still entitled, maybe because she feels she's owed something because of what she's gone through. And I can relate to that because I had that attitude at one point. But you know what? The world doesn't owe me shit. The world is going to give me back what I give the world at the end of the day. Like, even when it comes to my platform, all I could do is give my opinions and give myself and be real and be like, listen, this is what it is. Like, you don't want to do this. And my supporters gave back, you know, the support of this channel. Like, but that's all I can do. I'm not this fitness guru.
Going back to, like, the Chantal thing, too, like, this, I don't even know that we can necessarily blame her childhood. I mean, that could have gotten her somewhere, but at the end of the day, I feel like Chantal has always just been the overweight fat friend, and it's turned her bitter.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those things I think we grow out of. Like, I'm not going to say, like, I've been the fat friend before, and I understand where it can make you bitter to people. But one, like we were talking about earlier, you typically mature out of that selfish thinking because you're typically able at some point to put yourself on the outside and be like, it doesn't matter anymore. But we see her obsession with talking about old things, and everyone's always the one in the wrong. Everyone always is now doing terrible in life. They're living on the streets. They have terrible children. I don't know. Whatever the story of the day is, she's still the bitter fat friend because she didn't fit in then, and she's not fitting in now. And where the rest of us are like, okay, well, I'm going to do something if I feel like I don't fit in to move on with my life and to find happiness. She's not doing that. She's still obsessing over the past.
Yeah.
She's still being angry that she is this outcast that I think she's been for a long time. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, especially when you're a teenager, like, I remember 7th, 8th grade, your weight does matter. Like, people would pick on me. I was always taller and I was always chubbier. Like, the boys, I was the girl that boys would ask their friends out as a joke. Like, kids are brutal. But, like, we are not kids anymore. And she's still acting like that's what everyone on the internet is doing to her. Is we're all still picking on her. And that's not the case because we're not all still in each other's friends.
Correct. I didn't even think of it like that. Like, she was an outcast, and she probably feels like an outcast today on YouTube. Because I feel like with Chantal, and I see it with a lot of people in general, but Chantal tries to put fear in people, like, I'm going to get your channel taken down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But the problem with fear, when you try to put fear in people, and I know there are people who don't react to Chantal out of fear that she'll strike their channel. The problem with putting fear or gaining fear within someone instead of their respect is what happens when someone doesn't fear you is me. I don't fear Chantal. That's why I purposely focus on her content, to show her at the end of the day, Chantal, I may not like you, I may not like Amberlynn. Amberlynn never tried to put fear in me. Let me show you what it looks like when someone doesn't fear you and really doesn't respect you and shows you actually didn't have the power you thought. Chantal has been threatening for months to get my channel taken down, threatening, sending people after my channel. And then I always said, in the back of my mind, I did worry a little bit, like, dang, what if my channel does get taken down? That would suck. But then I thought about it, like, okay, start again. It's not that deep.
She's also just deflecting her fear. Like, what's the number one thing that she cannot lose in her life? It's her YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, she cannot, at this point, I truly believe Amberlynn, Chantal, all these ladies would have a really hard time pivoting their life into an actual career. So if they lose YouTube and they can't get back on the YouTube platform, their options become extremely limited.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, I'm not saying like other people's creator content isn't their life and like, you know, like their bloodline, but they can pivot into being like, you know what, I've learned editing, I've learned, you know, all this information about software, I've learned a lot about marketing, I've taken what YouTube's given me and I've created a skill out of it. And these ladies have not done anything. They don't even do the bare minimum of editing.
Yeah.
So if you take away their YouTube platforms, that's why they literally will shake in their boots anytime anything about monetization comes up, anytime anything comes up. So she thinks that's an attack on you to say, I'm going to take down Charlie Gold's channel. What she doesn't understand is if Charlie Gold can make another channel, she'll make another channel.
Yeah.
And Charlie Gold has other platforms and other skills, which are going to get people to follow her again. Chantal hit it big when mukbangs came out, and I think she knows if she loses this beauty like channel, she has no other platforms to turn to. She won't get a Twitter. She doesn't do anything outside of the bare minimum. And the people that poured in way back when to get her to 60,000 people, they're not going to be pouring in again because they're over this.
Yeah.
So if you look at her views compared to her followers, she will never gain her platform back.
She would have to become a completely different person, in my opinion. And that's something Chantal's not, she's shown she's not willing to do. She's not willing to change, which sucks. And that's going to, I just wonder, like, a few years from now when she's 40 and all these people, for example, like, I can't think of one person that Chantal's attacked on this platform that will be in the same place a year or two from now. And I'm not referring to YouTube. I'm just talking about life in general. Like Michael B. Petty, Zach, Callie, Biggest Mikey, Yaba. I feel like you, because she's recently, you know, had something to say about you. I feel like all the people she's attacked for whatever reason, or gave her criticism or give her opinion, let's not call it an attack. Like, I can't think of one person that will be in the same place a year or two from now. Even if it's their content changing or they're getting married, starting a family, whatever the case is. But with Chantal, I see her exactly here doing exactly the same thing a year or two from now. The only difference, 100 pounds added to her body or more. That's it.
And I think what we'll see is everyone will move on and there will just be a new generation.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think the rest of us, if we're still even on YouTube, for me, I don't know. Like, YouTube isn't my career. I don't ever plan on it being my career. Do I want to do better content as I get healthier? Will I still be doing reactions? Probably not. So things could shift. I'm not saying like I have a deadline where I'm just never going to do YouTube again, but we'll see. But everyone's going to move on, and she's not going to move on. So she's just going to be better once again, because she's going to see her haters go on. She's going to see them become nurses, doctors, whatever they want to be in life. And she's going to have this new group of haters, because there's always going to be someone else that's going to come behind the reaction channels down. They're going to find her and say, what the heck? And they're going to watch her and they're going to react, and she's going to still be lashing out and being like, well, I've been dealing with people like you for years. And it's like, well, where are those people? Where are those people now?
Correct.
Because everyone's going to advance, and she's still going to be that bitter Chantal fighting bullies. I did have one question.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, like, people in the real world, are you completely, like, let me in on what I do? Like, here's my YouTube, here's what I do. Do you try to ease them into it? Do they care? Or is it just kind of like, girl, what are you doing on the internet over there?
No, there's only like a few people who know. I don't volunteer the information, only because I actually don't like talking about myself often in general, so I don't volunteer the information. But I've had people message me and be like, is this you? And I'm just like, yeah. And they're like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I've had people be like, what are you doing? Why? Because the thing is, it's a little shocking depending on the video you click on, seeing my reaction, and people in my life know my mouth, but they don't know me to be this, you know, this critical of people, you know, people I don't know. So they'll click on a video and then they'll send like, is this you? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what did this person do to you? And then I have to give them the backstory. And then they're like, oh, I get it. Like I have one friend specifically, I will never point out who she is, but one of my closest friends they're always arguing in the comments with haters, and I always have to text her like, girl, she's like, no, I'm fine, I love doing this. And then doesn't that push your video by me keep comment? I explained a little bit about like how the algorithm and, you know, how it counts as engagement. She's like, isn't this engagement? So let me argue with them. And I'm just like, okay. But at first she didn't know, and she's like, who are these people? And I had to give them a background. She watched Toad McKinley's documentary. Okay. She hates Chantal. She's like, this lady is disgusting. And she will really like, after every time I post a reaction or every other reaction, she'll text me and be like, I can't believe her. Or she'll tell me something about the reaction. It is funny, and it's weird because one of the reasons I started the reactions is because I didn't have people in my real life I can talk to about it or really care, where they care enough to talk about it. Yeah, so now that I have like a couple of people, it's really just her, but sometimes I have another friend who will be like, oh, so what's the update on, you know, like Amberlynn? Because I have the one friend who really can't stand Chantal is more interested in Chantal, and then I have another friend who's more interested in Amberlynn. So it's kind of funny that I have that, but majority of the people in my life don't know at all. And it's not that I hide it, it's that I think it would take too much time to explain it to them and make them understand why and why I do it, that I just was like, whatever.
I realized that it has to come organically for people. Like my best friend, she sounds like your friend, like she's a parent, but she loves to get into those like mom boards and like she'll fight all day. So when I discovered Amberlynn before like Chantal and everyone, I remember I would always be like, oh, you gotta get sucked into like this girl on YouTube. Like it is a wild roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure just between parenting and also like watching one video, she would never, and I'm like, why aren't you into this? Why aren't you into this? So, and it's kind of the same with like my boyfriend. I've kind of tried to explain it a few times to him, no interest at all. And like he loves like YouTube drama. Like he is not into like any kind of like makeup artist, anything. But like the second the thing with like Tati and James came out, he could sit down for an hour and 45 minutes and watch those videos and then join each other. Like he is that, and I'm like, so I'm constantly like, why aren't you loving this drama? And I realize it's because there's so much back history to these girls.
Yeah.
That someone has to really come into this organically to really understand why we have these opinions we have on them.
Yeah. Did you have any last thoughts or anything else that you wanted to share while I have you?
No.
Awesome. Well, same. This is like my first time, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm like so nervous because I'm not sure how the editing's gonna work or how I'm gonna do it, but I'm sure I'll get it together eventually because I really want this to be something to continue. Like I want to do it with the people in our corner of YouTube, but I also want to branch out to talk to other people as well, you know, about all type of different things, you know, because some of the things I may talk to you about, maybe I won't talk to a different creator about, you know what I mean? But one thing I appreciate about this platform and I love is the fact that me deciding to sit here and give my opinion has given me the opportunity and the blessing, honestly, of meeting people like you. Like, you know, meeting you, meeting Manal, meeting Zach, you know, Callie, everyone you can name. Like, the fact that I was able to go to Manal's wedding and experience something so beautiful in January wouldn't have happened without this platform. Yeah. And I feel like this is a way to maybe reach more people, have different conversations with more people, maybe have difficult conversations with people at times. Who knows, you know? I don't know where this is going to go. I hope it's well received. But I do want to say thank you so much for being willing to give me the time because we've been sitting here for, what, like an hour and a half talking. So yeah, I'm really grateful.
Well, I'd love to come back anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it.